Hello, everybody. Welcome to Char Shot Games Podcast. I am not Thomas. I am your host, Ben, aka the Marvelous Iggy. I stole the keys. And joining me tonight, as always, and hopefully forever will be, well, maybe not, maybe you'll get tired of me, is my good buddy, Justin. Justin, hi, buddy.
I mean, eventually I'll die. Like, forever's a long time.
Yeah. I thought about that. I used to think about that, where, like, immortality would be cool, but you would eventually, like, they talk about, like, the sun would eventually eat the earth. You would be there for that. And you would be alone. That's terrifying.
And, like, you would continue to exist, just floating out in nothingness forever because you literally can't die. It's super depressing.
Yeah, that is. God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make this episode depressing. Thomas
isn't here, so he can't rein us in.
True. I'm going to try not to be depressing because when I'm the host, I try to be positive. So you're going to get positive, Ben, today. I promise you. No self-deprecation at all today. I promise.
I don't know if you can hold that promise. For the record, Thomas isn't here because he had mouth surgery. He did.
He had
to get that dick removed.
Ah, yes. Oral jokes. I love it. If I had a stream deck, I would play something. There you go. Love it. All right, so yeah, Thomas is not out. He's feeling better, thankfully, but still not 100%. Hopefully, he'll be with us next week. We'll see. TBD, as the sports likes to say. So let's get into the games we've been playing, and as per tradition of the Charge Shot ways, Justin, you go first, my friend.
Yeah, I have not played much because I'm still playing that game of basement renovation.
Lovely. How
which
is
I actually
that?
was going to talk about a little bit because we were supposed to have a guest this week, and he's also been renovating his basement. But it's fine. I'll still talk about it a little bit.
How's the netcode for Basement Simulator?
Spotty sometimes because the router and everything is down there, like in what will be my office. So sometimes I'll be working on something and it'll fall out of the window and everything will shut off. So that's fun, but that'll be more a problem when I actually start working on my office. I haven't been in there too much lately. Although I did have to turn the power off one day last week, and so it shut off for that too. But anyway, most of what I need to do right now is being held by the electrician, because he does good work, but is not the most reliable person in the world.
Oof.
So I keep getting, I'll be there this day, and then nothing. So it's been about a month off and on, when he was, basically fitting us in around other jobs, which was very nice of him. But this week was supposed to be when he was going to actually, have the time to do all of it at once. And so I thought he was still going to finish it up this week, but I guess not. I guess he just put other stuff in this week instead of blocking us in. So that's kind of annoying. But I'm hoping it'll be done by this weekend, and then I can literally finish everything up, because I'm just waiting right now. I've done more than I probably should do down there. I have all the drywall up. I started priming the walls, doing some painting even. All stuff that should probably be done after the electrical, but it's areas that won't be affected, so I'm going to go ahead and do it because I have the time. But I'm definitely getting antsy because it's I'm calling it almost livable down there.
Oof.
Where, the walls are up and everything, but there's 2 working outlets and they're both in the laundry room. So anything you want to actually run, you have to run an extension cord from the laundry room out to whatever you're doing, including power tools and stuff. So that's why I want to get the electrical done. And the lights down there are temporary ones that my father-in-law put in. Just to, illuminate the space. And so he's supposed to come in and, actually put in, the LED cans.
Cool.
All over the place. But we can't close the ceiling up until, those cans are wired.
Right.
So it's just, everything is waiting.
The life of a homeowner.
Yeah. And my new studio office space, I have to do that last because the electrical box is in that room. So I can't close up anything in there until all the electrical is run. So, the main room I need, to get everything out of here and move downstairs is the last part of the process. So I'm extremely antsy. and trying to do whatever I can throughout the week just to, help the process along. But it means I haven't played a lot. I have still been streaming Metroid Prime, and I'm still unclear if you were there for the thermal visor trip.
I was off and on. It was a long day.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there.
Because you weren't making fun of me, and I was a little disappointed.
Well, you can only make so many, Metroid Prime doesn't exist on Switch,
No,
so
I mean,
much.
making fun of me for the infrared.
Oh, honestly, dude, it's because I forgot, and then I had to go do something. But I wanted to, but I forgot. And, when you were there, and I come back, I'm like, no, you were just leaving there. God damn it.
It was, to share the inside joke, I put out a video. It's actually kind of funny because I put out a video on the scariest moments in non-horror games, which is a really fun video to make.
It was.
I had some friends come in and stuff like that. And it's funny because both games I'm streaming right now, Metroid Prime and Halo, well, the first Halo, not Halo 2, are in that video. Because the flood level from Halo is in there, and then the thermal visor section from Metroid Prime is in there. So it's weird, I'm playing both of those games at the same time. But anyway, so Ben made fun of me because I thought the thermal visor, infrared vision, basically was scary.
Thermal images, ooh! Yeah.
So when I was streaming that part, I was actually legitimately, just anxious to get out of there. I was trying to ramble through it and, make jokes and try to not focus on the task at hand and just get through it. But I had to quit.
Part.
What?
It's a pretty unsettling part.
It is. And I realize, you're just joking about the thermal vision part, but it's the idea that you have to be in that mode because it's total darkness and it's the only way you can see, but everything just looks so creepy in that mode. And if you switch out of it, it's total darkness.
Yeah.
So it's some rooms you actually can see, but the enemies are invisible. So it's still trying to figure out when you have to be thermal, when you don't. And it's a lot. And so I finished that section and I had to quit for the night. I was I'm legitimately just my heart rate is high right now. I can't do anymore. And it's stupid, but it's the way it is. So I have been enjoying that game still. But I did an extra stream of it this week because, Thomas is not feeling well and he's been doing Halo with me. And I got kind of mad at the game. Because the first Metroid Prime, the first one, has some weird routing in the first place. It's very much the type of game where you have to go completely across the world to get one item and then go right back to where you were. Which Super Metroid had that a little bit too, but it's a much smaller area. So it's you're taking a quick trip down to Norfair and then back up. Not
and
that
there's shortcuts. There's shortcuts are better in Super than they are in Prime 1, honestly.
Right. Prime 1, between every item, it seems like you have to make a trip through Magmore Caverns. One way or the other. And it was getting really annoying. And then I got the Ice Beam. And there was 2 possible doors that I could go through. One was through a morph ball tunnel to an Ice Beam door by the save point, and the other was just kind of same hallway but down a different direction, which was also an Ice Beam door. So I had a 50-50 shot of going somewhere that I assumed was the right way. So I was okay, one of these is probably a power up, the other one is the right way to go. So I open the door and it takes me to the town overworld, right by the underwater frigate. And I was oh, cool. I have the Ice Beam. I don't need the grappling hook to get over here now because I'm on the right side of it, and it's an Ice Beam door, so this must be where I go next. So I open that door, go down all the way. There's a few power-ups and stuff I get there, missile expansions, that kind of thing. But it gets to a point where you're just blocked off by a high wall, and text on the screen says something along the lines of progress blocked by suit modification or something like that, by lack of suit modification. So they put text into the game that says, hey, you can't go any further without the gravity suit. But you can make it that far. So then I spent like 20 more minutes trying to get out of there because I had to literally backtrack. Like, about that point, it showed up the thing on the map, you know, where it pings where you're supposed to go next, which of course was to get the gravity suit. And like Findrana drifts or something. Not even close to where I was. But I had to try and get out of there without the gravity suit or anything. So I'm like going up these stupid little like ship debris platforms to get out of here. And these enemies kept like sucking me towards them, and then I'd fall and drop all the way back down. And I was getting really mad at it. So I finally get out of there, and I can't go back up the way I came, which would have been a lot more convenient because I could go through the other ice door and see where that takes me. Probably, you know, let's say closer to Findrana Drifts, most likely. But it's like up a cliff waterfall that I can't like scale. So I have to make my way all the way back through Talon Overworld, through Bagmore Caverns, to the Findrana Drifts elevator. And I still have no idea what was through that other door, like by the ice beam. If that would have taken me closer to where I needed to be, or if it was just like a one-off power-up and I still had to backtrack a bunch. Like, it's those kind of examples of, like, why? Like, why make that area accessible when it's not where you're supposed to go next? And all it does is tell you, hey, you can't go here instead. And it's, you know, an hour-long backtrack. Like, that's bad game design at that point. Either block it off or make the barrier way closer. So, like, the thing is, I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but there's only two of us. We're going to have a short show. The first Metroid Prime is one I've only beaten once, and that was back on the original GameCube, like when it first came out. I've gone back to it a few times, and we've never made it very far. Prime 2, I've also beaten once, but I've gone back to it a lot more times. I just tend to fall off of it at some point, because the late game stuff isn't as interesting, I don't think.
The world switching is annoying.
See, I like that from a backtracking standpoint, because it makes it more interesting. You're not just going straight through the same areas again. But, like, it is kind of confusing sometimes. You have to figure out when to change, because the Dark World is a lot of, like, segmented off areas. So you have to go back to the Light World, find the next portal to get back to the Dark World, and then, like, you know, that part doesn't connect to the other part of the Dark World we were just in. Like, I'm about to go get the Seeker Missiles, because I'm also playing that right now. And I specifically remember that the Seeker Missiles is like a one-room Dark World area that you have to get to that area from the Light World, and then take the Dark World portal to that one room, get the Seeker Missiles, and then leave back to the Light World. Like, because there's nowhere you can go from there in the Dark World. You can only, like, go through doors and stuff in the Light World. It's weird. Anyway, that's another kind of bad backtrack. Because you get the Seeker Missiles and they go right back to where you were before. To get the, like, the gravity boost or whatever it's called. But Metroid Prime 3, I feel like does a lot better job of that, because a lot of the backtracking is somewhat mitigated, at least, by the fact that you land on a planet, go through it, and then get to another point where your ship lands, get back in your ship, and then you can go to a different planet. So there's still some of the weird backtracking stuff, and there's like kind of an optional like bottle ship. It's not optional, you have to go there eventually, but your progress there is somewhat optional throughout the game. And that is very backtracky, because like you always land at the same spot, and you basically you can do more progress on it throughout the game as you go, or you can go there once at the end of the game and just clear it all out then. But I digress a little bit. The point is, the first game feels like it has a lot of that, like, you know, that first game syndrome, even though it's not the first Metroid game. Whereas the next two kind of like fixed a lot of those weird issues and stuff. And honestly, I think just getting the screw attack early in Prime 3 is a big reason that game moves quicker. Because that clears out a lot of areas really quickly, even when you do have to backtrack. Whereas the first game doesn't even have the screw attack, and the second game you get it at the end. But I'm still enjoying the game, just not as much as I would like. I can definitely see the flaws and why people like 2 more. Aside from that, I haven't played too much. I briefly jumped back into Fortnite today because the Season 4 Marvel stuff dropped, and I was just kind of curious, like, how substantial that is. And I'll say I'm a little disappointed. I like the Battle Pass in general, like the stuff you get from it, from the cosmetics and things like that. Like, one of the things I got was a really cool, like, a Thor cape that's kind of like animated galaxy that, like, just a normal character can wear.
Nice.
So, like, your character could go around with this cool, like, flowing galaxy cape.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But the Marvel characters themselves are a little underwhelming. Because I thought, like, you just... Which I understand why they can't do this, but I thought you dropped into the game, like, with their powers. So, like, you don't pick up the weapons and stuff like that your other characters do. You just have the powers you have. But it seems like instead, you just are basically a character skin, and then around the map, there's, like, a pickup for, like, Thor's hammer, for example. Because I was playing as Thor. And when you get that pickup, you have those abilities. But otherwise, you're just a normal character skin, and, like, you have guns and, you know, building equipment and whatever else.
That's how I think that's how the Infinity Gauntlet, the Thanos promotion worked, where, like, you only played as Thanos whenever you found the gauntlet, and then you become Thanos. So
yeah, but that makes more sense because the gauntlet transforms you into Thanos. I was playing as Thor,
so you should automatically have, like, flying and
right.
You want to break the game. You break the game open if you can do that all the way.
I'm not saying, like, in the trailer, for example, they show, like, Wolverine, like, going up and, you know, clawing at people. And then, like, he does, like a spinner, like, berserker attack or whatever.
Berserker barrage.
So, like, theoretically, a character that can only attack close up, like, sure, it might do a lot of damage, but they're at a disadvantage because you have to get up close.
Yeah, long range.
So I thought they were, like, kind of balanced those characters in a way that you only have their powers, and so, like, you know, you're good at a few things, but the other, just, like, normies can still get the upper hand. So, like, some matches could go the entire time without you really feeling like that hero, aside from playing as them. Because you're just that guy with guns and stuff. And that's a little disappointing. But it is cool, and I see what people are saying about, like, the character models are really good.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I like the Marvel Avengers style, but the animations of them here are just very crisp. Like, Jessica Walters specifically is...
She-Hulk!
Yeah, she's a beautiful design. And, like, I think just graphically it holds up nicely because they found out a way to make those kind of, you know, cartoony characters match the cartoony Fortnite style really well. Whereas, like, Marvel's Avengers is doing its own art style, and people are like, why does it not look like this? It's like, that wouldn't work in that art style. But, again, I digress a little bit. But yeah, I'll give it some more try, and I'll give it some more chances.
Is Galactus on the map?
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. It's like, match to match, it doesn't feel any different. Except you can't be Marvel characters. But I feel like there's events that can happen. Like, for example, there's, like, map... I was going to say map quests, but that's a site. Like, missions, I guess? That get you, you know, points towards the battle pass or whatever. That relate to the heroes. Like, I had one that was, like, investigate scratch marks, which is related to the Wolverine pass. And then I had another one, like, specifically for Thor to, like, investigate Bifrost markings or something like that. But I didn't see any of those things when I was playing.
It is a big map.
Yeah. So, like, that kind of stuff I think is very conditional. And I don't know how the Galactus stuff works. One cool thing I did find out, which is how I died the first game, because I didn't know that I was going to get attacked. But there's, like shield crate drops around the map. So, like, there's, you know, like, smoke, like colored smoke that comes up from the map, which are normal supply drops. But they're guarded by like Stark robots. So in order to, take advantage of the supply drop, you have to like take out the guard robots to get to the stuff. So I ran up there. I didn't have anything yet. I had just dropped. And I was like, ooh, here's a supply drop. Let's check it out. And then like there was like, these robots like pacing back and forth. And at first I thought it was like actual people, enemies, but they looked at me and didn't start shooting or anything. So I was like, okay, there must be NPCs or something. So I just went up and started trying to loot. And then they opened fire. I was like, crap. And it said killed by like Stark infantry robot or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of neat. Like those event things on the PvP map. And I don't know if the Galactus works like that too, where it's like a random chance of showing up or something, and then like it becomes a PvE where everyone has to take out Galactus before they finish off each other. But hopefully I'll find that out in the future. But yeah, it's cool. I definitely recommend it, and if you want to try it out with me, we can.
Okay, yeah, I have to re-download it because I kind of installed it because I kind of think I didn't burn myself out. Other things coming out, and it's kind of hard to keep up with a game like that. So, yeah. I only had any curious just because like I thought Galactus would be like because I kept thinking like, oh, they had those concerts and stuff. Like, what if Galactus is just like for like a week? Galactus is just constantly there, and you have to like, I don't know, do something. I don't know, but like if he's not walking around the map, I kind of don't want to play.
Yeah, like again, I don't know exactly how it works because I hadn't played in a long time, and so like I booted it up, and the whole main menu is totally different from what I was used to. Because it was like, it loads up to like Save the World, Battle Royale, and Creative, I think. And so like, you go into the Battle Royale mode, and then there's still more options on the screen with like the different like squad types or whatever. And then there's like the Battle Pass screen and like the checklists of different things that get you points, like your daily, your daily
menus,
quests and stuff. And then there was a few other things, like different modes, which I did. There was like an arena mode, and I didn't know what that was. And so there's a bunch of stuff. It's possible it's tucked away in one of those things, but I just went to the main thing because it had the Marvel characters on it. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not very clear. I guess they figure people will know.
I guess so. I only piqued an interest just because I saw like the Herald is coming and they were showing Thor, who became a Herald of Galactus this year. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, is Galactus gonna? Oh. And
I can also see this season building up to that too, because like they want you to work towards the Battle Pass. So maybe there's a few weeks of like letting people play normally, getting these characters unlocked, getting the different skins, the weapons, things like that, and then it'll culminate in a battle against Galactus, like a PvE type thing. That's a weekend event or something. So everyone can throw on their Marvel skins and go after Galactus.
That'd be so cool.
Because if you drop it at the beginning, there's nothing to build up to.
Right. You're probably right. Yeah. That's cool. I look forward to seeing it. I might download it and grind it out just to fight fucking Galactus.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, the characters are cool. Like just running around his store, and like the glider, like you can switch it out for his hammer.
Yeah, so, I want to play as one of the X-Men. Honestly.
Yeah, I know. I really want Storm, but I don't have her unlocked yet. I just have She-Hulk and Thor.
Is Psylocke's one of them, isn't she?
No. Oh. X-Men wise, it's Wolverine and Storm.
Wah. I thought I saw a Psylocke image somewhere. Maybe I was wrong.
But yeah, so like I drop out of the plane and I'm just like holding on to his hammer, like floating through the air. It's pretty cool. And his like dropping animation is the Bifrost.
Oh, nice! That's really cool. That's
so
a nice
you
touch.
Like shoot down to the Bifrost and then click over to your glider, and he just like holds his hammer out. And goes
my
forward.
question is, why would they release this expansion right when Avengers comes out? That seems like killing your game. Like I understand they're two different audiences, but like Fortnite's audience is like 1 free and 2 huge. And then the Avengers game comes out this fucking Tuesday, right? Or next week, something like that?
It comes out Friday.
On Friday, okay.
Pre-orders get it 3 days early.
Right.
So that's why I say I'll get it on Tuesday.
Okay.
But there's time. I mean, it's a week with this battle pass. Like, it's probably to hype up Avengers, honestly.
Probably. To me, I see it like clashing. I figured like I don't know. It could be two different audiences for sure, but I feel like Fortnite's audience is huge.
Yeah. But a lot of Fortnite's audience also don't pay for things that aren't Fortnite.
True. That's true. That is very true. So who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. If anything, people are getting upset over QuickTime events in that game in Marvel's Avengers, which I'm not going to get into that. But everybody knows how I feel about the game and why I won't be getting it. So
there was a news story which we're not going to talk about, so I'll bring it up real quick about the post-launch characters having paid battle pass or paid basically battle passes, like their
individual
their
battle passes.
Cards. Yeah. Like each character has like a character card, which unlocks through credits you get like with like daily and weekly challenges and things like that. Mm-hmm. They're fairly easy, but like the base characters, those cards are already unlocked. So you just you do your daily quests and stuff, and you go down the battle pass for each character. But it's at the post-launch ones. You have to unlock with 1,000 credits. And so people are freaking out because like credits are a paid currency. They're like, oh, so these free characters that you get with the game, like you can't get their cosmetics or anything unless you pay for them, which is technically true. But you get credits through the character pass. Like at different tiers, you get so many credits. So theoretically, just playing the game, you would get enough credits to not ever have to actually like pay for to unlock one of the character cards. It still seems a little unnecessary, but like it's not worth freaking out over.
I've heard that before, where Street Fighter V, honestly enough, where you you don't have to buy any characters. You can use fight money to earn enough fight. You can earn enough fight money in Street Fighter V to not like buy the characters with money. You would know, but I don't think anybody has actually earned enough fight money to buy a whole season worth of characters, let alone one character. So it depends on how like often you get that currency, because they're not going to give it to the point where like you get a lot of it, then they don't get no money.
Well, the way the story read was, your base 6 characters, obviously they're unlocked already, and you get credits from those characters. So you'll build up a certain amount from them. Probably at least enough to, unlock the first DLC characters, which would be Hawkeye. And then those DLC characters, they say by the end of the pass, you'll basically get those credits back. So let's say you pay once. Just hypothetically, like even if you have to pay once, which I don't think you would. If you pay once for a character's challenge card, you would get the credits from that card to buy the next one.
I think it depends on how much you get, how much currency you get.
That's what, I'm saying they said that you get enough from the card to, like, you get that money back, is how they phrased it. Okay. I
don't like the idea of battle passes in full retail price games. It just seems scummy.
Oh, I totally agree. But I just think people are freaking out about it too much over the headline and not actually reading the story, and that bothers me more than anything.
No, true.
Like, don't make an opinion on something you haven't read.
Yeah, true. But another reason why I won't be getting this game, if I'm going to grind things out, I'll grind it out on other things, not a PvP, PvE game like this, That's where right. I don't like the art style. Okay, anything else that you've been playing this week?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right, Toodles McBoodles. All right, so I've been playing. I've played a lot. You're just going to ignore it. Just don't talk about it. Okay. I've been playing a lot, so I officially completed Batman Arkham Knight. I've done it. I don't know if it was worth the true ending. I won't say what it is for Justin's. I won't say it for Justin's sake of what it is, but I will say the reward I got for completing the game wasn't necessarily the true ending, because the only difference is that you get an extra scene with Gordon talking over and something is shown. I won't say what it is, but something is shown. But like, I do like that the main. I don't even say the regular story because Justin hasn't even beaten it yet. It's been since even though it's been out since 2015. But
open world games overwhelm me.
Yeah, I guess sure. But I won't say. But either way, even if you played the first 5 minutes, Batman kind of says like this is like it has a sense of finality to it. Even like before you say it. So,
he's very aware that this is the night he dies.
Yeah, so like it even opens up like this is how the Batman dies. That's how Commissioner Gordon opens up the fucking game. I won't say that happens, but I will say there's a nice closure and a nice something that happens. My satisfaction with completing this fucking game was capturing the Riddler because my god, that arrogant son of a bitch. Oh my god. The best part is like at certain increments he will start talking shit to you like, oh ho, Dark Knight, you have 100 more to go. Oh ho, Dark Knight, all this other shit. There's actually missions where like he'll put like suicide bombs inside prisoners' skulls and you have to find them. They're super easy. And the biggest problem I had with doing the Riddler stuff, one, there's a lot of it, but catching Riddler goons pretty much reveals all locations. The riddles themselves are not bad. Like, figuring out the traps, Riddler's a fucking idiot. Like, they're not hard. The hardest part of this fucking game, and I used the guide for pretty much all of them unless I knew what it was talking about, was the riddles themselves. Because I hate... all the Arkham games do this. It'll tell you a riddle, and you'll be nowhere near the fucking riddle. So you will look endlessly on... wait, is it here? Is it here? I think the riddle, like, once you find... like tackle a Riddler goon and he'll show you where it's at, but even then I feel like it's kind of vague because you got to know what you're looking for. So I just use the guide for those because like one of them is like you go into the Arkham Knight's main headquarters and it tells you something about Alice, like Alice in Wonderland, and it's all the way at the bottom of this pit. I'm like, really? Why are you telling me at the entrance? Like, come on. I guess technically you're entering a new room. But the best satisfaction of it was capturing Riddler because as you get closer to 10, he starts talking more shit. 5. He starts like, oh, wow, you really want to fight me, Dark Knight? Okay, Dark Knight. And then 4, he starts acting like a scared little bitch the entire time. Oh, it's great. So 1, he goes, all right, you want to fight me? Bring it on. I'll fight you. And what I did was, because I had to fucking do it, the second I got out of the movie studio, because that was the last place I did, because I did all the overworld stuff first, because that would take me the most time. And I did the 3 individual sub areas last because that would be fast because they all show up on the map. They're all in one contained area. I'd find them very quickly, and I did. So like tip for Riddler stuff: anytime you see a green glowing person, tackle them because they will reveal location for it, and then it's up to you how to figure it out. That saves so much time. Just do that throughout the game, and then probably wait till you get all your gadgets. Also, this game. I hate that this game doesn't tell you about the Freeze, Mr. Freeze's weapon from Arkham City. You can skip that weapon. And I didn't know this because I was missing a fucking weapon, like, upgrade system. I'm like, why am I missing? I looked it up, like, I'm missing the Freeze cluster from Arkham City. And it's, like, in the movie studio right next to, like, the container, like, these jail cells he has set up. And you could totally miss it. Nothing about it stands out. And I missed it. Maybe I'm going blind. I don't know. But I hate that. But I got it. And I felt salty because, like, motherfucker, I am done. I could have been doing stylish as fuck combos. I could have been electrocuting people, freezing people, smoking people. I don't know. I feel robbed. But either way, I can't do anything about it now. But one thing I did, like I said, as I was leaving the movie studio, I played Molossus from Batman Begins. That's the theme that plays when he's all the bats are on the screen. He's escaping from the Gotham City Police Department. And oh my god! And then get into like the 89 Batmobile because of course I was rocking that Batmobile and suit. So that theme works so well. Like like as you're running through Gotham City chasing down Riddler. The fight itself is pretty much a repeat. When you fight him after rescuing Catwoman, you have to defeat certain robots and beat him down. It's not hard. But God, it felt so good to throw his punk ass in jail. It felt so
you don't
good.
actually fight him?
No, you fight, like, he's in a robot.
Lame.
Like, you punch the shit out of him. But, like, he's in a robot. Riddler's not gonna fight Batman. He would lose. Like, he would stand no chance.
I want, like, a puzzle fight, though.
No. He straight up just has robots fight you, and then you have to switch between Catwoman shows up, which I feel like they wasted Catwoman because they only tied her to the Riddler stuff, and I feel like she could have been part of the bigger narrative. And especially because her and Bruce have like a real sweet moment of like, let's just run away. Come on, you don't have to do this anymore. And like he's like, no, it's over after tonight. There is no more me. Just being very vague about what it is. And considering that's the last thing I did, it's like very foreboding. It's also it's bittersweet, especially considering Talia got killed in City, so like Selina's the last love of his life. But yeah, it was a. Will I do it again? Maybe. I don't know. All the DC hype almost made me want to jump into fucking do it again, New Game Plus, but I was like, no.
Yeah, a lot of people are jumping into those games now. It's funny.
Yeah, I think my summer of DC is officially over. With DC fandom, that was sort of the end of it all. But before I move on to my next game, I did do some of the other stuff. Like I did play the DLC stuff. Most of it was not, it was whatever. Like the best one is the Batgirl one because it's the most varied. It's the biggest one. It's like the creepiest one because you get Mark Hamill back as the Joker. You team up with Robin to rescue Commissioner Gordon. You have takedown missions. You have combat missions. It's really cool, and Batgirl feels fun. The other ones are pretty much like tutorial missions, kind of, for like how to play them in the challenge maps. Like they have all new set places. Like Robin has to stop Two-Face in this big furnace. My favorite one though was Nightwing. Outside of Batgirl was Nightwing, but that's because like it's pure slapstick comedy with Nightwing just messing with Penguin. So Penguin is trying to escape the Gotham City Police Department, and he's just stuck in an elevator, like just stuck. And he's like telling his friends, like telling his goons, like, get me the fuck out of here. I need to get out of here. And it's weird because you see Gotham in the daytime. You can't go to it, but like it's like in the morning and there's like a mist. Like, whoa, Gotham in the daytime. This is weird. But like Nightwing will like get on the intercom and like twice in the thing like mimic one of his goons, like, yeah boss, we beat Nightwing, just totally trolling him. It's great. Nightwing has such a great personality in these games. But yeah, the most of them felt like tutorial for like, here's how they play and go play them more in the challenge stuff. Yeah, I don't know if it was worth it, but I mean, considering it comes with all the costumes, all the extra story missions inside the main campaign, I'd say it's worth it. Definitely, they're not long. The back was the longest one, but the Red Hood one was the biggest disappointment because I figured, okay, is it after Arkham Knight? No, he's just after Black Mask. Even though he plays uniquely, they don't. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. But I did do some of the races stuff because obviously not the races, the race challenges, I should say. And I didn't know this because each you get like different Batmobiles, like the Batman 66, the Tumbler, the 89 Batmobile, and each one has like at least 2 levels dedicated, like that are based around there. So Batman 66 one straight up is like on the movies, on the set of this TV show. Like there's like you can see moments from the show, like of the shark and the bat repellent stuff, and it plays the Batman 66 theme. But the first one I played was 89, and I had like the volume for audio and sound effects on the same level. So I started playing. I'm like, okay, cool. It's gonna take me through sets from the 80, 89 and returns. And I started, and all of a sudden I hear dun 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 dun. I'm like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing ever. And I think I 3-starred some of those. The Tumblr ones are boring, but that's because the Christopher Nolan movies are without personality in terms of Gotham City. So I just did 1 lap of those and I hated it. Yeah, God, Christopher Nolan, do you hate fun? So that's enough of Arkham Knight. Really enjoyed it. If they port it to Switch and it runs well, I will complete it again for sure. Just because I could complete it on my bed and not have to be tied to a TV. And then maybe, that'd be cool. But besides that, I loaded up the new Battletoads game. Because this came on Game Pass. Yeah, it came out. It's weird, man. Like, it's funny. It's like self-referential, like it's self-deprecating. I don't want to give anything away because like some of the stuff in there I was like, huh, I don't know what I expected because I'm not a Battletoads person at all. Like, I don't think I've ever played a Battletoads game before, but like the voice acting is like if it made me want a Battletoads cartoon is what I'll say with how it's written. Like, in the animation, I know some people are kind of shitting on it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks like fun and expressive.
It's unique,
especially when you're fighting. So you get to choose between 3 characters: Zitz, Pipple, and who the fuck I don't care. But they all play differently. So, Rash. Yeah, the Killer Instinct guy. Yeah, they gave the guy from Killer Instinct his own video game. Sorry, I don't play Rash and Killer Instinct. I'm sorry. But like they all play differently. Like I think Rash, Pimple, and Zitz. I think Pimple is the big one. Like he's the bruiser. But they all have like a light attack, a medium attack, and then they have a morph attack. So like if you hold it down, they'll do like a big fist or like big boot, stuff like that. But it looks cool. And then they have an air one they can do. As for how the game plays, I mean, it's fine. I feel like hit detection's a little off sometimes, where like I feel like I'm on the same plane, but I'm not connecting anything. And I mean, I'm going to compare it to Streets of Rage 4 because that was the other big beat 'em up release of this year. And I feel like Streets of Rage 4 has better combat, but I think Battletoads oozes personality, and that makes me want to play it. It does have the bike levels, and oh my god, they're bullshit. They're still bullshit, but it's more tolerable. But I feel like they go on way too long. But I think what makes me go... I kind of stopped playing for another game that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But it's fun. Like, I think... I don't know if it has online co-op, honestly. But, like, if you got a buddy, duke it up. It's hilarious. Or you can play Streets of Rage 4. That's also on Game Pass, too. Yeah, not bad. I feel like people are being too harsh with it, honestly, because I've seen some reviews. I'm like, maybe I'm crazy, but I like this game. Is it amazing? No, but it's fun, and I feel like a lot of it goes through because of the personality. But the other one I've been playing is Rise, Son of Rome. The ill-fated launch game for the Xbox One. You remember this game? I remember wanting to play this game when I first saw it because like I'm a sucker for ancient Rome. It's such a unique history of the world, like this huge empire. We get compared to the Roman Empire so much. Hey, we're going to see the fall of Rome right now, live in your house. It's Saturday night. So I didn't know what to expect of this game because all I remember from the reviews was it was quick time to game, and that is true for the most part. But like I kept expecting like it to be completely automated. It's not. It's very shallow. Like I won't lie to you. You have a light attack. You have I don't know what to call it, but like it's a move you can basically make people's shields like back away. So not disarm shields, but like I don't know what to call it. The game has a specific name for it, but you have attack. Throwaway shield. Oh, not throwaway shield. I don't know. Counter shield. I'm just gonna call it that. You have a roll and you have a counter button. So, and it all feels very, very good. And the game relies on you doing executions, which you will see the same animation a lot. You will see the same enemy character a lot. Like they use a lot of assets, but I think overall they capture like that ancient Roman aesthetic very, very well. They like, and I think and I'll get into the story in just a moment, but like just making me feel like I'm in this ancient time. Like it looks beautiful, even for a launch title on the Xbox One. I still think it looks great. Like great, beautiful vistas. It's actually very colorful. Like the Roman centurion armor, the golds and the reds really pop out. The greens pop out. Even when you're in like the dark environments, the blues have a unique look to them. It's such a really like it that's how I like realism in my games. Like yeah, they have realistic humans in proportions, but like there's color. It's not something bland to look at. Some instances it's dull because you're in Britain and it's rainy and it's fog and you can only do so much with that. But overall, but that makes the Centurion armor stick out the most. But what really made me play this game more was the narrative. Honestly. Is it the most original story of all time? No, but I found it compelling. And honestly, if you're talking to me about, like, I compared this to the 1886 game for PS4. I mean, both to me, they're both similar games where story driven, simple mechanics, but very beautiful technical. While I think the Order 1886 is a better looking game, I feel like Rise is a better acted game, has a better story, and I think the combat's much more fun. And you can actually see things in Rise Son of Rome. First, you can't see shit in the Order 1886. But the narrative, I think, is really, really good. It's predictable, but it's engaging. Like, the voice acting is strong. Like, the guy they got to voice Marius, who's the main character, he's like really confident, but like there are moments when like he has his doubts in the Empire. And I'm gonna spoil it because I have to. So he opens up. I thought this would be like at the height of Rome's power. It's not. We are at the fall of Rome. The barbarians are invading. Nero is the emperor of Rome, and shit's going to hell. And Nero is worried about Damocles, the spirit of vengeance, that supposed to be coming for him. And Marius stars him his tale. And it basically gives you a flashback, and you kind of go back 10 years. You see how the barbarian invasion started. You go to Britain and you fight warring tribes in Britain. And then you realize that, the barbarians aren't what's killing Rome. It's Nero and his fucking children are killing Rome. So you meet, I can't remember the older brother's name is, but you meet him, and he's just like the most and this is why I think the voice acting is really good. Him and his brother Commodus, because I remember Commodus more because it's a easier name to pronounce. He is like, they're both just slime, just like, look at me, I'm a god, I am this, just high up their asses royalty, and they like he sends you on a mission to go rescue Commodus from like the northern barbarians who are beyond Hadrian's Wall, and when you rescue Commodus, who's like the governor of Britannia, they have a chance to broker peace, right? And the reason why the Britons are revolting is because the Romans are treating them like shit. Like the centurions walk in, and Roman the royal guard are whipping the shit out of this Briton. And I'm like, that's why they're fucking rebelling because you're treating them like shit. Like, we're supposed to be Rome. We're better than this. It's kind of like ideal. It's kind of so fucking weird. I'm playing this game now because I feel like, like, that's not what America's for. That's not what Rome is for. It's very, very fucking scary similarities going there. But like, there's an impasse where they're gonna broker peace between Britain, this King Oswald, and Commodus. And Commodus gets a knife, and like, this is the seal of my father, of Nero. And he straight up like tells Oswald to come in, and you know what's gonna happen? He stabs him. He kills him in front of Britain. And what does Britain do? They fucking revolt, and then you have a whole siege section on like against the city. It's crazy. It's also really fucking cool. And I'm almost done with it. I haven't beaten the game yet. I have a feeling Marius dies. I don't know because I don't remember the context for Nero's death. But I will say, my last thing I will say is, I was wondering if we were going to get a gladiator section because it's a Roman game. Of course, there's got to be a gladiator point. So Marius is presumed dead at Britain, and he then gets resurrected. I'm assuming it's by Nemesis, the goddess of revenge for Roman, and for Rome, and basically dubs him Damocles. You are Damocles. You are the spirit of vengeance. It was, except the Commodus, Nero, and the other brother, they are the generals that betrayed. Yeah. So, and he's like, I need to get at them. I need to kill them because they're the reasons his father is dead. They're the reasons why Rome is going to shit, because they're in power and they need to be stopped. And so he's like, well, what's the closest I can get to them? So he barges into one of the brothers has like a hedonistic kind of room, and he basically earns a spot in the gladiator fight. He kills the older brother, which I wish you get to do yourself, but you don't. but you get to fight in the arena, and it's so cool because if you ever seen the arena, it's like 2 layers. If you've ever seen Gladiator, where like you have the top layer, and then underneath it's things just to come up and rise and change. So you actually like things actually like will rise from the ground and shift to accommodate what the narrator is telling you. And it's so cool. Like, and you see the crowd cheering. And then you fight Commodus himself, and he does everything to cheat. He just doesn't want to lose. He poisons you. He throws pocket sand at you, but then you stab him, and it's great. It feels so good. It feels so fucking good to kill that son of a bitch. Yeah, like I could see why, like maybe as a Xbox One launch title, maybe it wasn't critically well received, but I think it's a solid game, honestly. Maybe it's hindsight, maybe it's my sucker for Roman mythology or just Roman history, or maybe it's because I'm literally watching the events of this game unfold in front of my eyes in American society, with Trump acting as our version of Nero. As the world burns, he golfs. Nero played the fiddle as Rome burned. And I don't know, dude. It just felt cathartic, and it's also very, very good. Last thing I'll say is there's cool moments where you actually get to control a Roman legion, where you'll line up and like they march, and you can cover, but then you can throw pyres. It's very simple, but it's effective. Aw, hi kitty. This game is simple, but it hit those endorphins, man. That's all I really care about. Like, it's not long. It's not a long game, but I found it gripping enough for me to care about it. And it honestly makes me want more Roman gladiator games, in all honesty. And I'm kind of surprised we don't really have anything. We mostly deal with like Greek stuff if we get any video games based on that. Rome kind of gets left alone. Like Assassin's Creed's the only one, but I'm talking about like ancient Rome, where like, you know, Rome, actual gladiators, and not like kind of civilized Rome. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. I don't want to talk about Origami King for spoilers for Justin, but yeah, a lot of Xbox One love this week from me. Probably more so next week.
It is interesting we don't get more Rome games, because like a lot more media, like, you know, TVs and movies and stuff are Rome than Greece, I think.
True. Yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time is Gladiator.
Yeah,
love that movie.
So it's strange that doesn't carry over to games more.
Yeah, and I feel like Rome is such a, like, there's so much different like aspects of Rome. You can talk about the rise of Rome. Obviously, this game talks about the fall of Rome. What happens to Rome after it becomes like a Christian country, a Christian nation. Like, there's so much facets to that part, to the origins of ancient Rome. Or shit, just give me a gladiator game. Fuck it. Let me customize. Give me a PvP gladiator game. Put me in a death arena where traps can happen, and that's it. That would also be cool too. Doesn't have to have a story. Give me that. I'll take that too.
I think there might have been a gladiator movie game that was really bad.
Probably. I wouldn't put it past it. But I think I've been talking way too long, and I'm going to talk some more. Unless you had anything to add, Justin.
No.
All right, let's get into the news. Let's shoobity-doo. So let's get the Xbox stuff out of the way first. As I'm going to queue it up, just to give Justin time to talk the article. I am not stalling for time. Not at all. Yes, here we go. So Microsoft unveils new Xbox Series X UI. Try saying that 3 times fast, as I will not, because I'm not a monkey. Microsoft unveiled an extensive look at the new Xbox interface, which is designed to provide a cohesive experience for players across a variety of devices, including Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PC, and Android devices via cloud gaming. Just to go into more detail, Microsoft says that the home screen will load more than 50% faster when booting up the system and around 30% faster when returning from a game. The improvements are also cut down on memory usage considerably, around 40%, Microsoft says. Other improvements include the consolidation of parties chats into a single tab to streamline communication and make it easier to track what's going on with your friends. One key aspect mentioned is how the system will connect to mobile devices using the new Xbox mobile app. When you capture a game clip, for example, it will automatically be sent to the mobile app, making it easier to share your social media choice. So yeah, kind of basic stuff, but promising stuff. I do like that. That's app. The idea of it going to the phone, because I've taken some screenshots from the Xbox One, and you have to go out, go to share, scroll down, then upload, then choose the platform. So I kind of like the idea that it goes directly to the phone, and you can do it from the phone. It's like that. But as for the other stuff, that sounds cool too.
It basically looks like the PC Game Pass UI, which is not a bad thing. As a new Xbox owner, what do you think of the current Xbox One UI?
It's ass.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's ass. I'm not gonna.
It doesn't make any sense. Like
no.
I've had mine for almost a year now, and I still struggle to navigate it.
Yeah, I only go to 2 tabs. I only go to My Games and Game Pass and Blu-ray whenever I'm watching a new movie. I don't go to anything else.
Well, that's the thing. It's like they have a really good media system on their hands. Like the amount of variety you can do with an Xbox is much more impressive than like PS4, for example, because it's basically just running Windows 10. So like you can put a USB drive into it and download the media player and just play stuff straight off a drive, just like you could on a computer. And like that kind of thing is great, but it's all just so unintuitive with the way the UI is now. So saying that it's more efficient, which I think is also kind of a problem sometimes. It's weirdly slow considering it's ugly. It's more efficient and looks better. Like I'm very excited for this to roll out.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a while to find the Blu-ray player. I'm like, why isn't there a Blu-ray player? Mm-hmm. Like, it feels weird that I have to download an app to play it, but it's whatever.
Everything you have to download an app. And then the fact that like the apps are kind of tucked away is also weird.
Yeah. It's not user friendly at all.
No.
Yeah, so not much. I'm looking forward to this. I watched the video expecting to see something, but I guess we won't see. I guess just like the prices, we won't see the actual UI for a while. So anything else to add on that, my buddy?
This is rolling out to current gen stuff though, so I could see it being soon.
Cool. Yeah, true. All right, shimmy-doo. Let's move on to more Halo news / Xbox news. Microsoft brings back Halo veteran to get delayed back on track. Justice Staten making a return to Halo as part of a wide reorganization to steer the game onto the right path. Let's see. Microsoft, no reason to talk about that. Justice Staten, who played a large role in developing and writing the earliest Halo titles and had most recently been overseeing another Microsoft-published game, moved to Halo development Studio 343 Industries, that Bloomberg reported. He confirmed the change in a tweet. He'll be focused on improving the game's campaign mode, aiding the existing development leaders. Microsoft also moving Pierre Hinze, I apologize for butchering that name, another senior leader within 343 to focus on Halo Infinite and serve as a project lead for its free-to-play experience. The new project leads will work on studio head Chris Lee to report to Bonnie Ross, a Microsoft vice president who oversees 343, according to a person familiar with the strategy who asked not be named. So yeah, that's it. So they pretty much we need to get people in here. We need to get this game out. I'm not too familiar with Halo, so I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Well, I was scrolling down real quick. Staten was he started his career at Bungie.
Okay.
So he was around from the beginning of Halo, and he was mostly responsible for writing, editing, and directing cutscenes on the first 3 Halo games.
Okay.
So I guess he's being brought in more as a story consultant, which is interesting to me because it seems like they need more help on the technical side of things
versus like getting the story to make sense, because you play Halo for the story,
right? I mean, there's some good story stuff in there, but it just, I don't know. It seems but it says project lead for the Infinite campaign. So I don't know. Maybe there's more problems with it than we thought. I thought it just looked kind of gross.
Yeah. Or again, it's lead, so he's probably overseeing everything
Yeah.
that has to do with the main campaign in terms of assets, not just like how the story is written.
That's fair. I mean, part of it is, directing the cutscenes. Like, part of it is making sure that everything looks right, like animation-wise and all that, to get the story across. So I guess that would be part of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good sign for sure, but they also put out something saying that they're holding steadfast to their 2021 release date. Like, they're not going to move it back anymore. So I have a feeling the game's still going to end up being a little rushed when it comes out.
Yeah, probably going to be a huge ass day one patch. And then, this is not in the news, but there's been rumors. These are rumors. Take these with a grain of salt. That they're going to drop the Xbox One support it's not. They're not going to get Halo Infinite on Xbox One and just focus on Xbox Series X. Which that's probably a good thing because then they're not stretching their resources and focusing the power. I don't know how that works, but
I don't know.
We'll see.
I think at this point to completely drop a platform would be a mistake. Because they've already kind of gotten some bad press from the way the demo was received and stuff. And the last thing I saw, officially from them, was they're not moving the release date and they're not moving the platforms.
Okay.
So to come out and say that and then make that change would look really bad.
True. They're already kind of they're already playing from the hole, considering what Sony has.
Right.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Okay. Before we get into the next block of stuff, we got some one-off news today. Let's talk about Hitman 3. The not solid. This is the Solid Snake guy, right? No, it's not. I'm sorry, this is a bad joke.
This was more news for Thomas. I don't care.
Okay, did you want to skip it? We can skip it.
I mean, if you have nothing to say, we might as well.
I'll just say Hitman 3 is launching on Epic Games, exclusive on Epic Games Store. So that's it. Moving on. Since I don't really play those games because I'm too stupid to play those games.
Yeah, it's more just, because I thought he might have an opinion on it, but it's more just an awareness of, hey, this will be exclusive to the Epic Games Store. Be prepared.
Okay. There was another one-off one. Okay, here it is. You just added this. Mm-hmm. We are getting a Resident Evil series coming to Netflix. And oh yes, who is going to be the live action Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine? The answer is nobody. The answer is nobody. So Resident Evil Netflix series officially confirmed will tell a brand new story. After more than this is courtesy of IGN. After more than a year of speculation, the possibility of Netflix developing Resident Evil series, they officially confirmed it. According to Netflix, Resident Evil will tell a new story. In the first timeline, 14-year-olds sisters Jade and Billy. Hold on, can I get a drum roll, please? Jade and Billy Wesker are moved to New Raccoon City, a manufactured corporate town, forced on them right as adolescence is in full swing. The more time they spend there, the more time they realize the town is more than it seems, and their father, presumably Albert Wesker, as the article entails, may be concealing dark secrets that could destroy the world. Cut to the second timeline, well over a decade into the future, there are less than 15 million people on Earth and more than 6 billion monsters. Jesus Christ. What is it called? Stars fucked up. And people and animals infected with the T-virus. Jade, now 30, struggles to survive in this new world with secrets in the past about her sister, her father, and herself continue to haunt her. So this is an approach.
I don't know why they're going Resident Evil movie with it by making, a new main character and probably having the game characters come in as guests, one-off guests and stuff, but they're taking the young adult approach to Resident Evil, and that worries me.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no, because they are going to have the future storyline with the older version, but that's probably not going to get not nearly as much play as the
14-year-old sisters moving to Raccoon City right as adolescence is in full swing. They're going to milk that.
No, you're right. And I would think, after the success of Castlevania, right? Castlevania is an adaptation of Castlevania 3 that expanded upon the story, but was still kind of faithful to the game. I mean, they killed Dracula at the end. That's what you do. And it was beautiful and what we wanted. I don't know. I'm not saying it had to be animated or anything. I really wanted to see the Alkali Mansion and, in its B horror moviness and have a new Jill to, fawn over or something. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I'm not gonna call it bad right away. But it's definitely an interesting choice. Although apparently there's, according to some people in Resident Evil 6, there's references to Wesker's kids in there. So who knows?
But Wesker's not the best character in Resident Evil lore.
He's just the most popular because of memes, though. That's right. Why they're using him. He's a compelling bad guy. At least I think. He's really cool. But then just if you wanted Wesker, just fucking do Resident Evil 1 and have Wesker, expand on what we saw. Maybe show the before. I don't know. Then now we get into RE0 elements. I don't know. It's very interesting, Netflix. You're playing with my emotions here.
Yeah, and it's hard to straight adapt something because you want it to last multiple seasons. Well, most places do. Netflix tends to cancel things after 1 or 2 seasons. But
yeah.
You want the idea to have legs.
Right.
So by creating original characters, you don't feel tied to anything that already exists. But
right.
I'm just caught up on the presumably twin sisters here, like teenage sisters. It feels very CW. And it doesn't help that which I think this could be a good thing, given the tone and all. But it doesn't help that the showrunner is Andrew Dabb, who was responsible for Supernatural in the later seasons. So it's going to have some of that CW tone to it just from, who's involved. And like I said, I think it could be a good thing because that's, kind of a horror comedy show, and bringing those elements in will elevate it. And then the lead director is from The Walking Dead. So again, bringing those elements in, but those are also both, broadcast TV, quote unquote safe for work, teen shows. Right. Yeah.
Netflix. Who knows? Maybe Netflix has a bolder vision in mind with this, and we'll be surprised. Because, at the one hand, I would it be cool to see elements of RE1 expanded, but maybe stuff that we know from RE0, but without the stupid prison guy Billy. I think that's his name. That was his name. I don't know. There's so much cool lore in the Resident Evil series. That you could introduce into a TV series, and I don't know, it could be interesting. But are we gonna? My question is, are we gonna see Jill, Chris, Claire?
I'd love to see an expansion of that lore, but I don't want something like the movies where it's totally focused on new characters and the old characters just pop in to say hi, are killed off, and then never important again.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's revealed that Claire Redfield is their caretaker or something, and it's a secret mission because he's trying to keep a track of somebody's tracking them because maybe they have something inside them because Wesker's an evil son of a bitch. I don't know. We don't know a lot, but I think it's who knows? It's too early to tell, but we'll see. Just don't make it too scary. Because Resident Evil is a fucking B-horror movie.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why I'd say that Supernatural's influence could be useful.
Yeah. I want my cheesy jokes. I want my one-liners. Give me that stuff in live action. Make it cheesy. Make it scary. Give me my jump scares, but make it cheesy,
Agreed. The tone is going to be the most important thing here. People will forgive, an adaptation of a story, with new characters and stuff, if they nail the tone.
True. All right, so let's go into another block of news, this time with DC Fandom, which was the big DC event for 24 hours where we got to see new reveals of Suicide Squad and The Batman and Hallelujah. I won't say what it is because you know what it is based on what I just said.
Watchmen.
Yes, exactly. It's Watchmen 2. But we also got some video game news. We got 2 pieces of video game news, both oddly tied to Batman because, god damn it, they don't want to make me happy. I'm sorry.
Well, tied to the Rocksteady Arkhamverse, at least.
True. Yes. So the first one we got was a full gameplay / trailer reveal of Gotham Knights, which, even though they say Batman is dead and it's the characters, it's not tied to the Arkham universe, so it's super confusing. But this is, I think we've heard about this game for quite some time.
Yeah, it was teased. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, this is being made by WB Montreal. You play as Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood, and Batgirl. Bruce Wayne is confirmed dead, and you'll be taking on the mysterious Court of Owls. So from the 2011 storyline, the Court of Owls. I thought it had a much more unique title. There's a trailer. It looks very Arkham-y. They didn't confirm if it was gonna play like the Avengers game where it's gonna have that grind stuff, which would make any sense for these characters because they would have everything because of the fucking Bat family. But
they have said that there's like a skill tree, and a gear system, which is why there's like, numbers over the enemies and stuff, because you essentially rank up with new gear and whatnot. But it's not like a games of service or anything.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
There's no live elements. It's more Assassin's Creed style, where it's just you get new gear from enemies and stuff, and you can level up your character that way.
Yeah, and that's cool. I think it's kind of bold to make a game called Gotham Knights but not have Batman. Now, part of me, this is pure speculative, part of me thinks like they captured Bruce Wayne's corpse and he's going to be reanimated as a Court of Owl. He's going to be part of the court, and it's going to be a big surprise.
I mean, he definitely is.
So that'll be cool. You get to fight. You'll probably fight Batman without realizing it's Batman. And then like one of them will make a one-off. Like, why does he fight so familiarly? I just hope narratively it's good, because you'll have all four of them together. Like, I hope whoever the voice actors are, they're like they have a nice cohesion, and they bring out the personalities. And like it can't be in the Arkham universe because Barbara at this point has no her legs don't work. Joker got rid of him. God, that sounds so awful. Joker shot her through the spine. But it's somewhat the same designs as the Arkham game, honestly. So that's why I'm saying it's confusing, because like you have these elements, but then they said it's not. I'm like, I'm gonna say it is in my own headcanon.
It's a spiritual sequel,
yeah,
to the Arkham games, because the thing that Rocksteady's making is not an Arkham game,
right?
So WB Montreal's like, we're gonna dust off this Origins engine and make something else with it. Yeah,
hopefully less glitches. It looked good though. It looked really good, but I think it's confirmed only for next gen systems, which makes sense.
Yeah, it comes out next year.
Okay, that's cool.
What's interesting is this article says that it's got Nightwing, Red Hood, Robin, Red Robin, and Batgirl. But I only ever saw the 4 characters.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it. So Red Robin is also Tim Drake, but he adopts a new identity in the comics. Because Damian Wayne is Robin. So it could be that the Robin we see here is Damian Wayne, but I didn't see a sword, because usually Damian has a sword with him. Or like he has a unique costume.
I think they said that Robin is Tim Drake.
Okay, so then that wouldn't... I don't know who would be Red Robin.
Let's see.
I
don't know for sure. But they mentioned like how each character plays differently, which is one of the coolest parts to me. Like they each have their own abilities. And like Robin, for example, can tap into the Justice League satellite and do like short distance teleportation. And I thought they had mentioned that it's Tim Drake Robin when they said that, but maybe not. Like Red Hood has guns, obviously. Batgirl's more agile and has something with her grapple. I don't remember what it was exactly. But yeah, they all have their cool, unique stuff. I just remember the teleportation because that's pretty unique. But they can each take on missions in their own way because of their specific abilities. Like you might be more stealthy with Robin because he can kind of bamf around a little bit. But with like Red Hood, you might take it straight on because you can just shoot people as you go in.
Right, and did they confirm 2-player online co-op?
I think it's drop in, drop out, but I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 1 to 4.
It would be cool. Oh my god, it'd be so cool if we could get 4 people at once to play as the Bat Family. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
That was the case. I think it actually might be because I remember seeing somebody on my Twitter complain like, "Why can't we do this with Darksiders? Damn it!" Money. That's why.
It's definitely 2 though. It might be more.
That's oh god, because like they kind of teased that in Arkham Knight, where like there's a section where you get to team up with Robin and do takedowns, but it's AI controlled. So that would be cool to like coordinate. Like imagine like you're with your buddies and you either by yourself, either with one person or 4 people. Like okay, you're gonna go here. You're gonna set a bomb here. Oh my god, the craziness that you could do.
Yeah, I
with
mean they
4
kind of
people.
showed that. Like there was an 11-minute gameplay trailer that ended with a boss fight between, I think it was Batgirl and Mr. Freeze. But like that whole section was like a 2-player co-op thing, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Because they just kind of showed like, obviously it's online, so it's not split screen or anything. But like they showed your main character, and then you could see the other character like doing their stuff in the background. So it really did kind of feel like a team up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited for this, mostly because of the co-op. Like I think it'd be really fun to play with friends.
Yeah. This.
But also just it looks good.
True. It looked very, very good. Also they stress, I think they was it this one or the next game I'm talking about that they stress it will have a single player campaign. I think.
Well, yes, it's a single player campaign, but the entire thing can be played co-op.
Okay, well that's cool. All right. So speaking of that, single player campaigns, we kind of got teased about this a while ago, which we thought was Bizarro Superman. It's not. But the world was officially revealed to that the newest game from Rocksteady is Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. So you'll be playing, and it's not Bizarro Superman. And I said this in our private Discord where I feel like an idiot because the first thing you see is a huge ass Brainiac ship. Which I'm really happy that Brainiac, like you got this with Injustice 2, and then now here they're really pushing Brainiac as like a huge villain, for mainstream audiences. I think that's really cool. Brainiac has seemingly taken over, the Justice League. We only see Superman. That's why he has the purple stuff because he's infected with Brainiacism. And you play as Harley Quinn. I'm trying to get the roster right now. You play as Harley Quinn, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, wow, who seemingly has flash powers, which that's weird.
Yeah, apparently there's like a comics Boomerang that's not like the other guy. It's some other Captain Boomerang, and he's a speedster.
Yeah, even though the Captain Boomerang that's popular that the Flash fights is Australian, so like they're cherry picking, which is fine. It's whatever. It's not a big deal. I just didn't expect.
I think this other one might also be Australian.
Okay,
but he's a speedster.
That's so like really odd.
I just saw someone talking about it. I don't know. Like I'm not an expert by any means.
I'm gonna call BS on that. They just wanted to give Captain Boomerang powers, which is fine. I think that'll be fun. So yeah, Harley Quinn, King Shark, Captain Boomerang. And Deadshot, who now looks a lot like Will Smith, or is not? He doesn't look like Will Smith. But
he looks a lot like Jax.
Yeah, it's not a white guy. I correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, because Deadshot does show up in the Arkham games, but is he ever demasked? I don't remember honestly.
I mean, you played them way more than I did.
I don't in Origins. I don't think you demask him. I think you might demask him in City, but I don't remember if he was a white guy. I could boot it up at some point and go check. But that would be like, whoa, okay, maybe it's just it could be just a code name thing. That's another thing, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So I don't really have any details on it. If you want to go details,
I looked up the Captain Boomerang thing.
Okay.
Because you called me out. And it's Owen Mercer, who is the son of the original Captain Boomerang.
Ah.
So he is still Australian.
Okay. Forgot about
Suck
that.
it.
Okay.
And he has, like, one of his powers is speed bursts. So it's unclear how he got the ability, but it says he may gain his speed from the Speed Force like most speedsters. However, he maintains that he gains his speed from his metagene. Whichever the case, Owen can only move in short bursts of superhuman speed. This power allows him to accelerate short distances, or more notably when he throws boomerangs.
Okay, well that's a cool way to not give a little bit of variety versus a guy who just throws boomerangs.
Yeah, I mean it makes him it gives him some more unique abilities from everyone else.
Yeah,
because I assume there's going to be skill trees and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Is this confirmed to be a games of service game? Did they say that? I hope they.
I don't know. There was very little information, which
yeah.
is weird because it's presumably been in development for a long time.
Yeah, and
but all we got was like a 4-minute cinematic trailer, and then
no hints of gameplay.
A brief information about the playable characters and what the point of the game is.
Yeah. And I think you can. I know they didn't mention Batman. No, they did mention Batman, which is the odd thing because like Batman's technically dead, but we don't know where this takes place in the Arkham timeline. Although the way they worded it
takes place after Arkham Knight.
Yeah, which is like, well, then he's dead though. What the fuck? Unless it's somebody else's Batman, which is possible. But probably. They mentioned that you can kill certain members of the Justice League, but like Batman, they mentioned that you can only capture Batman and Wonder Woman, or Superman and Wonder Woman, but Batman will not be captured, but you can't capture Batman because they don't want to show him as weak. That was a quote in an article. I fucking saw it. Which that's like, come on, like really? Let me capture Batman. Like, come on, let me do it. I'm the Suicide Squad. And I'm King Shark. Oh god, if I got an next-gen console, I'm so maining King Shark just because he's voiced by a professional wrestler. Samoa Joe, what's up? But you can capture, like, apparently Robin's gonna be in the game. I think they said that you can capture Robin. I'm like, I don't fucking want Robin. I want to capture Batman. But you can barely kill other members of the Justice League. So like, if you wanted to kill Aquaman, now's your chance.
Please.
Or Flash.
I will do that.
Yeah, which is odd. Like,
yeah, I still don't totally understand what the game is or anything.
Yeah.
But it is weird because like they said that it takes place after Arkham Knight, like it's in the Arkham continuity,
right?
And that while it's not a new Batman game or anything, there's a reason it takes place in this continuity, and you'll find some of the like the continuations of storylines from those characters in this game.
Yeah.
Which I assume part of that is Harley, because I guess it's the same Harley. She doesn't really look the same.
No, but yeah, people can change people can change costumes and stuff or designs.
Yeah, but just like personality-wise, she doesn't really seem the same either. But, other characters, I guess, will also have their stories told this way.
Yeah.
But it's branched out so drastically from Arkham, where like that was really just Batman and his villains,
right?
To now be like the whole Justice League suddenly exists and all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's like that's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, because like I kept, when I was playing through the Arkham games this summer, I kept wondering, and most of when I played Night, just because of what happens in Night, I'm like, does the Justice League exist in this continuity? Because you never hear him reference to it. Like the most you get in Night, like in City, they reference like Central City, Metropolis, Keystone City, Coast City, key, superhero cities, but that doesn't mean anything. That just means like key cities in the DC universe. In Night, they reference Superman. Like, oh, what if that freak from Metropolis shows up? And I'm like, so is Superman just showing up at this point? Like, because like considering what happens in Night, I would think the Justice League would show up. I think it's a Batman story. Batman could have told him to back off. I got this.
Yeah.
Because he's an arrogant asshole.
It seems like a lot of comments, or a lot of comics, like, city segment the heroes. They're like, oh, no, that's Gotham. That's Batman's territory. I don't go there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of their way of getting around it.
Yeah. And I think showing Superman in Arkham Knight would have stealed Batman's thunder. Like, oh, shit, Superman's here. But, like, there's not even, like, a hint that the Justice League is a thing in the Arkham universe at all. Like, it might be, but the way he acts, it's not. Like, they even acknowledge the existence of the heroes. Like I said, outside that one line off to Superman of, like, the Freak from Metropolis thing. So, it's interesting. But, like, they kind of ended the Arkham series. I don't know what, like, outside of Harley, I don't, unless it's like revolving who the new Batman is, like if there is a new Batman, but I guess there is. It's weird. I feel like tying it. I feel like they should have. They shouldn't. I feel like they shouldn't tie it to Arkham. Maybe like in the same continuity. That's fine. But I feel like they should have said the story. If you want more Arkham Knight continuation of that story, go play Gotham Knights. This is going to expand the universe further beyond Batman, but still be in that same continuity. So like you'll get a reference to Deathstroke or like what happened to Gotham during the events of Arkham Knight.
Yeah, it really feels like Gotham Knight should have been the sequel, and then Suicide Squad's its own new game.
Yeah.
But, like, I think Rocksteady probably was, kind of like, no, the Arkham series is our thing. We're going to continue it with our game. You can't. Because they barely reference Arkham Origins. Like, they try to pretend that game doesn't exist.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Except, I mean, Knight has references to it, but, like, I feel like they were begrudgingly put in there, honestly. Yeah.
And like they could have gotten around it with Batgirl because they could have had like the suit kind of be like a a War Machine type thing,
right?
Where like it gives like it makes her legs work in a way, like it's one of those kind of. I'm trying to say this the right way, but I don't really know how. But like animatronic legs almost.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the same thing. What happened to Rhodey at the end of Civil War? Where, like, he was paralyzed, but he could walk with the Iron Man. Yeah, so, yeah. No, I think that's... So I think that's enough for the Batman stuff and the Arkham stuff. Suicide Squad about to blow the fuck up starting next year with the movie. Which...
Both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, fucking John Cena's in that movie. I love it. I didn't know he was in the movie. That's so great. I freaked out so much.
Yeah. His character's described as just a douchey Captain America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's playing... God, some of the characters say, James Gunn, what are you doing, baby?
He's gonna kill them all off anyway.
Yeah, true. Oh, it's gonna be glorious. So let's move on to the final news. And I didn't plan it this way, I swear to Christ. But it's fighting game corner time. I was not supposed to host this show. So
you definitely planned it this way.
I did not, I swear. Some of this was supposed to be for last week. So let's get some of the drama stuff out of the way, because I feel like let's be serious for a little bit. Starting with the Lab Zero stuff going on with Skullgirls. So if you haven't been following it with the Skullgirls saga, unfortunately, we kind of reported on this a couple months ago. Mike Z, the face/owner of Lab Zero, kind of made a derogatory joke about the George Floyd, like right around the events that happened. And then afterwards, there was some screenshots of DMs where he was being very creepy towards employees. And now, very recently, several Lab Zero employees straight up quit. They walked out because they stated that Mike Z had created a unsafe work environment, which has now led to Hidden Variable and Autumn Games. They technically own the publishing rights to Skullgirls, but they will continue on without Lab Zero's involvement. So pretty much they're saying, I mean, there's pretty much nobody working there now. Maybe there's probably like a few people who still stay there. Maybe for whatever reason, I don't know. Everybody has their own reasons for staying, but they will. Lab Zero is no longer behind it. Autumn Games and Hidden Variable Studios fully support the employees who have chosen to stand by their principles and leave in light of the behavior that we find in the allegations to be credible, as they gave a statement out for Mike Zaymont, aka Mike Z. Statement goes on to emphasize that Hidden Variable is an independent studio and has a former relationship with Autumn, not Lab Zero says, but Skullgirls will continue on without it. So yeah, this is pretty much a tale of how one dude fucked over an entire company, and apparently there's comments out there where he was told you need to get sexual harassment training, and he just flat out said no. There's comments out there like that, and that is like red flag number one. I don't play Skullgirls. I tried it, it's not my thing, but I feel sorry for the people, most importantly the people who work there, who had to put up with Mike Z, and his attitude to how he treats people, and his apparently he has tried to play off his like, oh, I'm weird, I'm different. I'm like, oh, I just get crawling. And I hope that these people who are quitting, who have left Lab Zero, and shout outs to them, because leaving a job, that is not easy. That is very not. It's hard. That's money you're leaving on the table, and especially in game development, not a lot of jobs out there. You have to be very selective. You don't have a lot of choices. So I hope these people land on their feet. Hopefully, some either Autumn Games or Hidden Variable will hire some of them, or other fighting game dev studios will be like, hey, come work for us. So we'll see. But it's a very ugly situation, and proves that you being a shitty human being can bring down everything. Like, one guy ruined it for everybody. I know you don't play fighting games, Justin, but just any comment?
No, I mean, that, like, it's never... Sorry, I'm not going to have a lot to say about any of this stuff, but it's never, good when you have to deal with those work circumstances. So I'm definitely glad they had the strength to get out. I can't imagine dealing with that stuff for as long as they did.
Yeah, apparently Mike Z has had this kind of attitude for a long time. And then I'll top it off, just another one of the other prominent FGC figureheads of like the 09 era is apparently an alt-right conspiracy theorist and COVID denier. So yay. He's already been out though. We've kicked him out. He's not welcome anymore. Fuck you, Gutex. So the other one is a little bit drama filled, but not as bad, thankfully. This has to do with Capcom Cup. And Lord knows, every time I talk about Capcom Cup on this show, it's always about drama and the netcode. So 2 weekends, at this time, it was 2 weeks ago, it was a Capcom Cup North America East tournament to determine who would be a qualifier for Capcom Cup. And a match between Punk and Alex Myers. On August 15th, during North America West qualifier, America West 1 qualifier, Alex Myers defeated Victor Punk Woodley. At the conclusion of the match, Punk engaged in unsportsmanlike conduct against the tournament organizer Alex Valle on Discord and player Alex Myers on Twitter. So Alex Myers won the set, and according to Punk, the set was very laggy, and apparently had been laggy early on. And he basically cussed him out on Twitter, called him a bitch, and was very detrimental. And that was it. He apologized on Twitter, but apparently also he said something to Alex Valle, which I won't repeat because it's pretty fucked up. Alex Valle is the tournament was helping organize this tournament. He does Level Up, OG in the community. And basically Capcom has ruled that this was a clear violation of the CPT Code of Conduct. Under normal circumstances, such behavior would result in a suspension for multiple premieres. However, given the limited number of qualifying events this season, such a ban has excessive consequences. Capcom has therefore ruled that he should he choose to participate, Punk will automatically start in the losers bracket in North America West 2 qualifier in November 2020. We recognize that this has been a frustrating year, but threats and insults amongst our top players cannot be tolerated. We hope that this ruling closes this issue and that all parties can move on from the incident. Now, I know some people were kind of upset that Capcom ruled the ban, but if he had only called Alex Myers a bitch on Twitter, because he's salty, like he lost, like you don't have a lot of chances to qualify for Capcom Club. That's a lot of money on the table. Do I condone what he did? No. Do I fault him? Also no, because like damn, that salt is real. The Street Fighter V's netcode is not optimal. But the second you threatened a TO when you knew. Because apparently earlier, like I said, earlier in the tournament, he played Alex Myers and the set was laggy, and I don't know why he didn't report it then, versus making it a deal later, because maybe we wouldn't get to this situation if it was the case. So it's hard to say, but I will say this: I don't know. I feel like Capcom had to do something. And this is the most they could do, because they can't ban him. I think that'd be too egregious considering the circumstances. But I will say, I feel sorry for the person who goes to losers bracket and your first opponent is Punk. For those who don't know, Punk is considered one of the best American Street Fighter players, and possibly one of the best in the world. So good luck. You narrowly lose only to face Punk in round 1 of losers. Congratulations. Yeah. I mean, he's been known to have tireds like this. And he has a certain way he carries them. I still respect him as a player, but sometimes his attitude just gets in the way. He is a very young guy. He's not like I think he's in his early 20s, so still growing up a little bit. But everybody's apologized. Everybody seems cool. So just maybe next guy. Maybe I'm not a pro player, but like maybe just don't look at your phone when you lose on a big tournament. It's just not a good idea. Just go take a shower. Go cool down. Don't go to Twitter because it's just gonna cost you. Capcom had to do something, and unfortunately, it was this. But you know what? The greatest irony is that he could win it all from losers bracket and still make Capcom Cup, which would be the biggest irony. But good luck, Punk. In all seriousness, the other one I'm gonna talk about is kind of funny. But also, like, I think, where's the line between esports and everything like that? This has to do with the Reddit Street Fighter tournament, which happens every Monday, hosted by Joe Monday. It's a great online tournament. To me, it's the best Street Fighter V online tournament next to NLBC, which is hosted by Team Spooky. But this past Monday, and I watched this live, we had a rare instance of two Fong players make it to top 8. And by the name of D Answer and FGC Jesus. Background Fong is considered, he's a really goofy character. He's really low tier, but because a lot of people don't see high tier Fong play, he's very frustrating to fight against because he has so many options, and nobody really. It's hard to prepare for something that you don't see enough of. So it's a lot. He beat a lot of. Both of these guys beat a lot of normal people who come by the tournament, just because they don't know the matchup. It's a hard matchup when you don't know it. So during winners finals, Joe Monday basically decided to the fighting community has they basically decide to just not talk about the match, and they play fart noises during the set. And I thought it was funny because it's Fong, and in fact somebody from their Discord showed up I think it was before or after the match, where how is a Fong making top 8? He's been garbage since season 1. How is this possible? How are there 2 Fongs in top 8? And realistically, he's a garbage character, but because people don't know the matchup, that's why he's here. But also, but since then, Joe Monday has apologized. FGC Jesus has said he would not participate in the tournament again. He said, I don't like being treated. This is from FGC Jesus' Twitter. I don't like being treated that way. I'm not any different than anyone else who works hard at this game. Sorry, my character's knowing to play and you don't know how he works. But I made it to winners finals. I was proud of myself. I get that it was a joke and stuff. I forgive you guys. I legitimately got hit where it hurt my feelings. So I don't fault FGC Jesus for being upset. I really don't. But at the same time, this is what I'll say about this, right? And them doing maybe the fart noises were a little excessive. I'll say that. But this is the Reddit Street Fighter tournament. This isn't a Capcom sponsored event. This is not a premiere event. You want to know how silly this event is? They had a Money in the Bank. And this is why I wish Thomas was here, because he would get it. They had a Money in the Bank tournament, and that's a wrestling reference because it's in wrestling, there's a Money in the Bank. If you win that thing, it's a briefcase, you can cash it in and you can get a championship match at any point in time. So they did that for RSF, where if you won that, you can cash in. Say somebody had just won Grand Finals and just played six games, you could whoever has Money in the Bank could cash in and play someone in the best 3 and win that tournament, even though they only played one game or didn't play at all or got eliminated early. They could still come back and do that. It's supposed to be fun, and that's what I'll say about that. I feel like this article is way too holier than thou. Like, we're supposed to be better than this. I'm like, come on. I can understand FTC Jesus being hurt because that's upsetting. Because like people mocking your playstyle for playing a weird character. I get that. But like this whole article, and like it kind of created a divisiveness between like the FTC on Twitter, where it's like, fuck you Kotaku, to Kotaku sometimes does good articles on the FTC. I'm gonna lean more towards the fuck you Kotaku stuff because like y'all they don't really talk about the stuff that's actually prominent most of the time, and then the clickbait drama gets more and more clicks. So that's why this shouldn't be a Kotaku article. I'm just talking about this so I can talk about RSF, and you should sign up for it every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Time. It's a great tournament, and if you want to know how to run an online tournament, Joe Monday is the way to go. But yeah, that's it. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it, but it was weird that this became a fucking Kotaku article.
I don't really think fart noises are ever funny.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, I'm not saying, like, shame on them or whatever, but it's just, like, it hurts the validity of, video games as, like, a quote-unquote real sport or career or whatever, when those kinds of things are associated with it. Because, like, there could be someone out there that's, like, taking it very seriously and, like, spends all their time doing it. It's their livelihood. It's what they make money doing. And then this guy comes in and it's like, haha, fart noises, haha. And that's all they're going to talk about.
And I agree with that. Except that this tournament, like I said earlier, it's a for fun tournament. There's no money on the line. There's no prize money. It's literally for fun. Like, I've entered in it. They welcome everybody.
Right, I understand the circumstance. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, the issue around it in general is, like, if that's what people think of when they think of gaming competitions, it's hard for them to take it seriously. And a lot of people live in echo chambers where they go back to one example.
Yeah, and I hate that, considering, like, there's hundreds of well-run, before COVID, local premieres that have beautiful storytelling moments. But no, let's just focus on this instance, which is not a good incident. I don't think it's bad either. I think it's, both sides one side is at fault and apologize for it. But I just, like, if this is your example of, like, where you need to take it serious, I'm like, guys, go watch Capcom Cup Pro Tour for that. Like, this is different. Like, that's how I defend it. Like, but I definitely feel that FGC Jesus is all in his right to feel upset that his gameplay was being tracked. It was like shitting on his gameplay for playing a character. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, he definitely has the right to feel that, and I agree with him. Like, I'd be mad. Like, what hell, I've been.
You ever walked around at my job and someone followed behind me with a fart noise thing? Like, it might be funny at first, but it gets annoying.
I think I've actually made it on stream, and I never listened to the commentary, and I'm scared to because I don't think they talked about the match because I was so bad. So it's out there if you want to go find it. I don't know. It was like back last year or something when I did it. But let's go home because I'm getting sleepy. The final piece of news is we got a new reveal character for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yes, that game is still alive. We finally got that Master Roshi is finally coming to Dragon Ball FighterZ. And he will be coming this September, so a couple of weeks. They got a very brief trailer. Apparently, I'll just go over real quick. He doesn't have a super dash, but he has like he's gonna have. This is a problem I have with these trailers because they don't show anything. They show like a super move, like maybe a combo string, and that's it. You have no idea. If you watch the initial trailer for this character, you have no idea how the character plays. But apparently he has he doesn't have a super dash because Roshi doesn't fly in the show. So he's like people are already questioning, well, why is he in the game then? It's weird. So even though he was a requested pick, I don't know. What do you want, Dragon Ball fans? What the fuck do you want? You want a Roshi? He's here. Um, so I'll look out for him. I haven't been playing Dragon Ball this year, just because the online is still ass. And funny enough, they were asked about online netcode, rollback netcode, and they were like, "We can't do it; it's too difficult." And then, the people who did behind Fighting EX Layer like, "Oh, we have rollback netcode; it's in there." And they're a much smaller company with less money. So who's lying here? And then, so just to go over it, one of the first moves you see Roshi perform is the Mafuba or Evil Containment Wave, which looks like a similar beam to trap victims and seals them in a jar. He can do a backwards Kamehameha. Like I said, there's not much to know about it, honestly, because they do really short trailers. But hey, if you like Master Roshi, he's been a highly requested character for a long time. He's definitely a fan favorite. Like, he's outside of Goku and Piccolo. Like, you're gonna recognize Master Roshi. I don't know what that was. I was trying to do Roshi and I did Mario. But yeah, I know you don't play Dragon Ball Fighters, but Master Roshi, old man hype, yeah.
I vaguely know who that character is.
Fair enough. Yeah, so that's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. I just read something that kind of make my heart sunk. Okay. Let's listen. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. Justin, where can the people find you?
You can find me if you look for Zero Score all over the internet, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, those good places. Nothing too exciting. I'm still streaming Thursdays and Mondays, but next Monday might be my last Monday stream. I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna make that work. So we'll see.
All right, and you can find me at twitter.com/marvelousiggy for all related content to the Marvelous One. Thank you for anybody who's checking out Atomic Shot. Just to give a brief concept of the episodes we've went over. A couple weeks ago, we did Ebra Horror of the Deep, where Godzilla had a lobster dinner. The episode that just came out is Son of Godzilla. Yes, Dadzilla, as Justin quoted it. In our Discord. Again, this movie's on HBO Max, so if you want to watch it, maybe it's up to you. But like, there's some funny moments with Godzilla and his son. And of course, the one that's coming up this next week is Destroy All Monsters, the initial supposed end finale to Godzilla's Reign of Terror. It's not, because we still got more movies to do. But it's for all intents and purposes, it's the Endgame-esque of the Showa era of Godzilla. So that was fun to record with me and Tyler. We just did that one yesterday. We look forward to coming look for that soon. And of course, come into chartshot.com for all video game related content. Of course, Atomic Shot, anything else we do. And until next time, guys, enjoy your games and wear your mask.
Wash your hands.